Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Monday Night Pod. My name is Jeremy Jacobowitz. I'm here with my tag team partner, Adam Welby.
Ayo.
This is a podcast all about the Monday Night Wars, all about the battles between WWF, Raw, and WCW Nitro. Each and every single week, we go back in time and we re-review when both shows went head-to-head. Spoiler, that's not what we're doing today. If you guys have been paying attention, I've sort of like given you fair warning. This is a bonus episode of something very, very special. But before we get to that, Adam, why should people listen to what we have to say?
I think you kind of buried the lead right there, Jeremy. Why should you listen to what we have to say? Because we're doing a special bonus episode for you guys. We didn't have to watch Thursday, Raw Thursday, or Raw Thursday, Raw. I can't keep in mind what any of this stuff is. But come on, are any other podcasters going to go out of their way, go away from their friends, their family, their full-time jobs to watch Raw Thursday, Raw Thursday, Raw Thursday from 1997 just to give you guys the skinny? No, I don't think so. I think you're only going to get that kind of thing right here on Monday Night Pod.
That's right, Adam. Also, we both used to work at WWE. We both used to work in WWE tape library jobs. Just watch all of wrestling. So, yes. So, basically, our rules generally are if Raw and Nitro don't go head-to-head in a certain week, we just skip over that whole week and we move forward to when they just go head-to-head. This past week, Nitro aired, but Raw didn't because of its February. Must have been the dog show. Must have been the dog show. But they had Thursday, Raw Thursday. And while we sort of normally would skip this stuff, it is a huge, ginormous, momentous, important episode. And I just thought, you know what? There's too much going on. If we skipped over this, one of the most important episodes in Raw history, it would be a disservice to what we did. So a little bonus episode. It's easier work for us this week, too. And we're just going to talk about the one show, Thursday, Raw Thursday.
Perfect. I mean, man, you managed to pull me away from my PS5 long enough to watch this thing. So let's do it.
Yes, Adam, let's do it. It's February 13th, 1997, and we are live in the Memorial Auditorium in Lowell, Massachusetts. I think we're live, right?
Yeah. They said live.
Okay. Anyway, we begin with Vince teasing us that the I wrote WWF, that's not the WWF title, will be declared vacant, which is funny. I know, like, we talk about this a lot, like, we've watched all this, but your memory still fades. I thought that was like a surprise thing in the speech Shawn gives, but whatever, they're ahead of it. Anyway, yes, it's a special Thursday Raw Thursday open, Adam. The music was familiar. I couldn't figure out what it was. Do you know what it was?
It was terrible. That's what it was.
No, it's been used for some, maybe just like interstitial things on Raw, or will be used on Raw, something like that.
It definitely didn't sound like the kind of track that you.
It was like do 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 Thursday Raw Thursday do 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 Thursday Raw Thursday. It's like, okay, we get it. Yes, it
kind of sounds like the Sting to Thriller, I guess.
That too. But the other note was, it was kind of funny. Last week we went from the fucking Sky Dome, and now we're back in like a small city theater. I don't like.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think this is the same venue that Samoa Joe captured the NXT title from Finn Balor at a live show. I mean, it looks about the same. So
maybe
with the balcony setup and everything, it's not this ain't an arena. This is a 4,000 seater, maybe
small college gym.
Yeah. But I'm not hating on that, by the way. I like a show that's occasionally from somewhere different. And
yeah, just funny going from the Sky Dome, your biggest audience ever, to like back to being a tiny audience.
Right. Of course. But, well.
Well, Adam, we start off hot. Intercontinental title match, Rocky Maivia versus the Intercontinental Champion, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. This match was 14 minutes, 15 seconds. And then we run through some of this, and then we'll chat about it. No Curtis Hughes with Hunter, which was only like announced last week, and I guess he's already gone.
And we've only seen him like once.
Anyway. We didn't even see him on Raw. We only saw like a video of him anyway.
Yeah.
Well, we know it's about to happen. Some Rocky sucks chants early, a little bit.
Couple. Well, they're light still, but they're there.
Anyway, Hunter works over the arm early. We come back from commercial, and Honky Tonk Man is out here, and he joins commentary. Hunter has control for most of the match, taking advantage of his longer tenure in the ring than Rocky Maivia. Everything Rocky tries, Hunter is able to counter. Rocky kicks out of a monster pile driver, and the crowd is shook, Adam. Anyway, Hunter goes to a pedigree, but Rocky's body is so limp that he can't even get him into position. Hunter tries again, and Rocky is able to counter him into an inside cradle, and we have a brand new Intercontinental Champion.
Whoo! When you say that Triple H's or Hunter Hearst Helmsley rather is able to counter everything that Rocky throws at him, he's able to counter him with a long ass sleeper hold. That's just you said this match is 14 minutes and something.
Yeah, 14, 15.
It had to be 8.5, 9 minutes of that sleeper hold, man. I was like, holy crap! Like this is one of those super basic matches that Hunter loves, obviously.
Oh, I thought the opposite. I really like this match.
Really?
I thought it was like a lot of countering, and like the story was easy and like easy to follow, and I thought built up really nicely. And the surprise shock of, oh my God, Rocky's a new Intercontinental Champion.
No,
yes,
no,
was it a little too much of like Hunter dominating? Maybe, but like that was a story they were attempting to tell.
I get it, but you can dominate with more than a sleeper hold from behind. I mean, the thing that I was most interested in this match is when, King was talking about how Helmsley had a $20,000 Rolex, and I'm like, oh, I want to see that Rolly. But yeah, but I like the ending, like you were saying. Like it definitely came to that cool point. Just the journey there was a total slog for me.
Afterwards, Doc interviews Rocky. Quick words from him as he thanks his family and his fans.
Mm-hmm. Yep, wonderful white meat, simple babyface promo. I was when Doc went up to him with the mic, I was kind of hoping like, all right, let's see our first little piece of the Rock here. Let's see if any of that is there yet, and it wasn't. But that's fine. Not everything needs to click on day one. Some things take a while to turn around.
Absolutely. Next up, here comes Sunny. She pulls out some notes out of her boobs, and she's an ex-ring announcer, so gotta shove her on TV somehow, I guess.
The crowd's hot here, so there you go.
There it is. Next up, it's the Headbangers versus Aldo Montoya and Bob Holly. This match goes 5 minutes 45 seconds. As Sunny's doing a ring announcing, she says that Aldo Montoya has the sexiest Portuguese accent she's ever heard, and you just see like Aldo in the background just dying laughing. Anyway, Bob is still the spark plug gimmick. Of course he is. Announcers ignored this whole match to talk about Shawn Michaels, and I pretty much ignored it too. Headbangers hit the stage dive on Aldo for the win.
Yeah, I wrote the announcers couldn't give a fuck about this match. I also another crack up that Sunny got out of somebody was when she said Sparkplug Holly was the only man who could get her heart racing. It was funny. The highlight of this match is definitely her as the ring announcer, and that's sad because this is, I believe, the Headbangers Raw debut, and I actually like the Headbangers. I was always a fan. And I think they're good workers, and the stage dive is a great finishing move. But man, just with how little the announcers are into this match, it makes you less into it as well. So there you go. Headbangers are on TV, and we got to see Sunny for a second. So can't be too angry.
Right, it was short. Oh, next up, there's so many words. So here we go. Vince and Gorilla are in the ring, and they bring out HBK Shawn Michaels. Shawn says he comes out with a very noticeable limp. We'll talk about that after. Shawn says this is much more serious than the last time he had to drop his title. Doctor told him that he may not wrestle ever again. At this point, we get a "We Want Sid" chant, which is kind of funny. Vince says that no champion has ever had the schedule that he has. That doesn't seem right. Shawn breaks kayfabe and says no matter good or bad, he just wants to put on a good performance. One thing that won't revolve around this belt for a long time is Shawn Michaels. So Shawn hands the belt to Gorilla. I'm going to go back home and see what's left for me. I've lost a lot of things, and one of those things is my smile. I have to go back and fix myself and take care of myself. I have to go back and find my smile. Shawn starts to cry, and so does the audience. Kinda. Shawn hugs Vince and says that he's going home. Basically, then we get the shot of that we always remember for like that one girl in the stands just bawling, crying, just like Shawn hobbles around the ringside, high-fiving all the fans.
Yeah, they went to like 4 girls who were just looking a little emotional before they finally got the one who was actually crying there. this is a obviously significant moment. Obviously, has completely changed the landscape of what we were kind of building towards with WrestleMania and everything like that. I was thinking about it though when he was saying, the doctors say he may never wrestle again from this knee injury. I was thinking, do you think that was legit? Like, do you think because I can't think of obviously you can have a career-ending injury in football or in basketball or in this like sports, but I can't think of anybody whose career was ended or was cut short when they were that young and good with a knee injury. You know what I mean?
Normally they leave the sports and then go wrestle when they have a knee injury.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It's a few things. It's hard watching this. This is the reason, obviously, why we're talking about this episode. This is a monumentous moment in WWE history and Monday Night Wars history and blah, 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 Raw history. Obviously, as you said, Adam, it changes the entire course for WrestleMania and changes the entire course of what's going to happen. It's interesting watching it now, what we know, which is it is BS. He's only gone for 2 months and then he comes back. So it's hard to put yourself in, I try to put myself in a perspective of thinking back to the retirement stuff that we have actually watched that's real and how he felt. Edge, Daniel Bryan, that really was the reaction that these fans would have had, because why would they have any reason to doubt what Shawn says?
Yeah.
Who knows what doctor he saw? Who knows why? Who knows why he only came back in 2 months? Whatever. But it is interesting, the visual of Shawn hobbling around the ring, high-fiving everyone, fucking tears in his eyes. I could just imagine Brett backstage being like, "You motherfucker." You know what I mean? No one's hobbling, or no one's that hurt that you're hobbling around. You know what I mean? He's dragging his fucking leg. Brett's "You bastard."
Yeah, he's telling it like he's against Hogan at SummerSlam. I get it. That's what Shawn does. But he gets a dude. You're right. There's one other time I can remember that I was totally freaked out with a wrestling injury that was sold to me as real, and for whatever, Shawn's knee could be tweaked real-ish, but obviously, as we know, not career-ending. But the time that I remember specifically being shook by something that was a work was, do you remember when they faked Kurt Angle getting paralyzed on television?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he kind of was. That is a much weirder thing. His neck actually was broken.
Right.
But they faked him having to give up the title in that moment too.
No, I'm talking about when he got pile driven on the outside of the ring, and they spent the next 2 commercials.
I thought you meant building up to Lesnar at WrestleMania 19.
I'm saying when he was this was just on a SmackDown or something. He was crying and saying he couldn't feel his legs and whatnot. And then of course at the third act of the show, he comes out and walking and pulls off the neck brace or whatever. But
I don't remember that at all. The only other thing I remember Kurt Angle is when he was GM and Big Show threw him off the thing, and then they come back down and his knee is twisted and there's blood under his skull.
Yeah. that was classic. Boy. We should put together all-time great fake injuries,
I'm trying to think. Oh, I mean, every time Alexa Bliss pops her fucking elbow out, I'm like, oh! It gets me because she only pulls it out once every other year or so, and I'm like, no, and I'm like, oh wait, she's just double jointed. It's fine. She's fine. Okay.
Yeah, well, it looks great with her stuff against Ronda.
Right.
Man, I miss Ronda. All right, well, we'll get on that list of our all-time favorite fake injuries soon. But I think for now we gotta keep on keeping on here, huh? It's Raw Thursday, Raw Thursday, Raw Thursday.
Great. Next up, it's Savio Vega with the Nation Domination versus Undertaker. This match goes 8 minutes and 45 seconds. No Farouk out there right now. BSK in the house though, Adam. And we finally Taker chokeslams him, and that's it. Taker fights off Nation Domination until Farouk runs in, and it's just too much. But oh my God, here comes Ahmed to help clean house. But that's not even enough, or is it? Taker finally double choke slams PG-13, and the two of them clear the ring of the Nation.
Yeah. This is, God, I have nothing to say really, because this is just
Nope.
a standard Undertaker match. What we've referenced many times on the Stone Cold sessions, or Broken Skull sessions rather, where Undertaker was like, slow it down, slow it down. Like, yep, that's what this is. This is a slowed down Undertaker getting through. Yep, getting through his BSK thing, and we're done.
Yep.
So, fine, and of course we got to keep Ahmed and his thing with the nation going still, which is Ahmed is still getting the pops, right? Like Ahmed is still, people are still into him enough, but I didn't find anything particularly exciting here.
Nope. Next up, Stone Cold versus Psycho Sid. This match goes 3 minutes and 45 seconds. We got the doc who interviews Gorilla. He says that the final 4 match at the pay-per-view will now be for the WWF title. And that person will face Sid next Monday for the title, because obviously Sid was supposed to get the title shot at the pay-per-view, and he's not. So new WWF champion Sunday, or at the pay-per-view. I forget if it's Sunday or not. At the pay-per-view, and then Sid will face him.
Yes, it is this Sunday because it's going to be next Monday that Sid gets the title. And also just right here, did you hear the mic popping a little bit? It sounded like they might have had a low battery on the mic.
No.
Not you. Not you. I'm talking Doc Hendricks with Sid backstage. There's a little bit of mic popping. And I kind of love that this kind of stuff is left in, because I like when wrestling isn't perfect. I like when it's a little raw. That's pardon the pun, since we're watching Raw here. I mean, that's one thing that I appreciate about AEW we've talked about these days, is how like sometimes things don't really work perfectly. And I like that. I like the little imperfections of wrestling. It feels like a live show then. So it's just fun for me that these little things are still in there.
Well, Slugfest to start, Adam. The crowd is hot for Austin, for reals. Anyway, but pretty quickly, here comes Brett, and he attacks Austin, causing a DQ. Sid is not pleased, and he attacks Brett, and then they start brawling now.
Yeah. Now, when you say the crowd is hot for Austin, we got to say, like, as a face, like they're chanting.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Austin. Like, this is, it's cool to see that, like, people are so into him before he's even got his catchphrases and stuff like that going a million miles per hour. And this match, as we call it, a punch kick match, but Sid and Austin were hitting each other pretty dang hard.
Mm-hmm.
I was
not as hard as Kenny and Moxley this week.
Oh
which
god,
was was just legitimate punches to the face for a few rounds. I was like, start working! God damn it!
God, I love that. Man. I love when they're slapping each other. You could just see
That's
them.
What I mean,
yeah. Man, I could talk that when we have a show where we talk about live shows one day. If we had one, I would be talking for the next hour about the developments out of Winter is Coming from this last week. But we won't. That's not what we do here. Not what we do until the podheads demand it. Anyway, what do you think about this ending in a quick DQ?
Yeah, it wasn't a match.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah, agreed. It's just getting Sid out there, getting Stone Cold exposed a little bit, and getting Brett out. Now, I wish, based on the match layout that we have for the night, that they would have put this on later. But we'll talk about that in a sec.
Next up, Vince has one of his favorite Magic interviews. This time with Vader and Paul Bearer in the back. Vader talks about pinning Taker and whipping Austin's butt.
Yep, very, very quick. He talks about whipping Austin's butt, but also, he says that he's destroyed everybody who he's going into this 3-man match with. So, what time is it?
It's Vader time. Next up, Adam, tag team championship match. Farouk and Crush with Nation Domination versus Davey and Owen. This match goes 9 minutes and 30 seconds. More Magic interviews with Brett backstage. He says that it's sad that Shawn has to hang it up. He says that he believes he'll be back. He then talks about facing Vader later tonight. Owen is thrown over the top rope, and looks like once again, Adam has hurt his knee, and it's another count out loss. But they, of course, retain their titles. Owen continues to sell as Bulldog is beaten down, including a Dominator by Farouk.
Love the Dominator. But this also, I had 2 thoughts in this match just for how they were presenting it. I'm thinking that they might be starting to overexpose the Nation of Domination a little bit.
I mean, they're in every fucking match.
Yeah, and all of them are in
All
every
of
match.
them. That's what I mean.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, obviously the NWO got crazy overexposed, but like not like Hogan wasn't out there for for Scott Norton being.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then also I was like, oh man, they really don't give a fuck about tag team wrestling because once again, the announcers spend the entire match talking about Shawn, and even with the thing where they cut to Brett talking about it backstage, like we had Brett just run out and attack Stone Cold and get pulled apart and do a DQ, and then like he's calmly standing backstage where he can somberly talk about Shawn. Like it feels like that maybe should have been maybe during Savio Taker, so that like it could have been reacting in the moment to that or something. But I imagine you can't step on an Undertaker segment like that. So step on the tag teams. Who cares?
Yes, you're absolutely right. The more they can not pay attention to those belts, the better.
Right. Yeah, and this is for this is for the belt too. My goodness.
Next event, in main event time, Vader with Paul Bearer versus Bret Hart. This match goes 5 minutes. Before the match starts, out comes Taker. He cuts a promo saying that there's a problem with respect that he doesn't get anymore. It's pitch black. You literally can't see him. I don't know why they couldn't fucking turn the lights on.
I was like, who's he holding? Because he's got somebody by
Who's holding Doc. So I guess he dragged Doc out with him to grab the mic. Anyway, he says, "You three will rest in peace."
Yeah.
Great.
Adding a lot.
Austin runs out and starts beating up Brett as we quickly head to commercial break. We come back and no DQ. Whatever. Who cares? It's just a match. Austin is now back in the balcony, like the upper tier of the balcony, watching on. That distraction allows Vader to set up for, but miss the moonsault. Brett then covers him for the win. The show goes off the air with Austin trying to hop over the second-story balcony to get down to the ring. I don't know what he thought would happen if he was able, like security's trying to hold him back, but he's literally trying to hop down from the second balcony to get to Brett. And that's the end.
There's a 16-foot drop there, Stone Cold.
That's the end of Thursday Raw Thursday.
Shawn just had to relieve his title for busting up his knee. Like, don't go up the 16th-floor balconies onto the next. Yeah. I also thought it was funny just that, like, it doesn't feel like a great booking decision for what Vader is and who Vader's supposed to be to have it. He missed his moonsault, so now you can cover him for 3. Like,
I guess it's so devastating that even it takes him out.
I guess, but like he's the mastodon, you know. You had to have. Well, I guess you want to DQ Stone Cold and Sid because Sid is going to be fighting for the title and Austin is firing up, so you don't want him. But like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I've always been such a Vader mark, and it just sucks going back. That's been one of my least favorite parts. I've enjoyed so much of our journey together, going back through this, Jer, and Podheads. I've enjoyed this journey that we're all taking together very much. But one thing that I am not enjoying is reliving week by week Vader's terrible mistreatment in the WWF.
He's in the main event. He's in the main event at a pay-per-view. What do you want?
So I want him to not get buried. I want him to have had a title run. I want Vader to be in the Hall of Fame. All these things. Vader just gets shit on for no reason, and it's sad. Because everyone talks about what a great guy Leon White was and how nice he was. Whatever. Had to have Shawn on top all that time, I guess.
Yeah. Shawn's the man.
Yeah.
You want a WWF champion like the glistening muscles of Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Slob Vader.
That's right, yeah. Slob. Yeah. Too bad. Remember when Sid called him Fat Boy in the ring? That was
yes. Well, Thursday. I will say, for a show on its own, without looking at what it meant overall, it was kind of necessary to have the Shawn Michaels thing because otherwise you leave that show being like, yeah, that's a throwaway show they would have just aired on a Thursday. But having Shawn drop the title, make his big speech, cry, losing his smile, it makes it a momentous episode of Raw. I mean, nothing was terrible. I know you didn't enjoy it. I actually really enjoyed the Rocky Hunter Helmsley match to kick off the show. Big title change. They tried to make it feel special. I think it whimpered out a little bit, but peaked right at the end of Austin trying to jump over the balcony. So I thought it was better than most efforts, and because of the Shawn thing, it pushed it even higher.
Well, as I've beaten into the earth this same thought over and over again, and I will repeat it here. All I want from storytelling is to not be in the same place that we were at the end than we were at the beginning, right? So, like, we start here, we're going to end there, not start here and end here. That is very much what this Raw delivered on. Now, it's for the title. The only it's not, well, I guess the IC title changed hands and stuff too, so I shouldn't say that. But obviously the tag title is whatever. But we are, the whole landscape of the WWF is in a very different position at the end of this show than it was at the beginning, and I like that. For me, that's a show that delivers. So even if I didn't care for Savio Vega versus Undertaker or whatever, like, overall, this is an episode of Raw that I would say, like, yeah, it's worth checking out sometime.
I agree. Shall we play the game you like to play, Adam? Because it's a pay-per-view this Sunday.
Oh boy, and try and name the card, huh?
Yes. I'm just trying to pull up I'm pulling up in front of me. The stupid wiki doesn't have the card. That's weird. I shall stand by. Let me get this card.
It's all right. Now I will also contemplate while we're talking about this, trying to remember what the name of the pay-per-view is, because I have no idea what the In Your House is named.
Adam,
which is not a great sign for.
It's named Final Four.
Did they say Final Four? Did they say the
graphic is like that? It's like that pyramid that looks. Well, it's In Your House, but it looks like the pyramid, so it had the Final Four. I will say it is confusing because they didn't beat you over the head with it. I will give you that, but it is the easiest answer. All right, so I got the card here, Adam. You want to guess what these things?
First up, we have obviously the main event. We have Vader versus Undertaker versus Bret Hart versus Stone Cold for the title. Now, it used to be I think it was going to be to challenge at WrestleMania, wasn't it? No.
Yes, the winner got the title shot at WrestleMania. Yes.
Right. That was what it was. Now it is for the title, which is exciting. Who else is on that card? What else could possibly be there?
There we go.
I'm gonna hold on. Just let me get there. I think, dang, Goldust is facing Hunter Hearst Helmsley. He was for the title.
I thought he was too. Apparently, that match didn't happen. Well, remember, Hunter's not the champion anymore. So
yeah, I know. But so then does Goldust get a shot at Rocky Maivia?
Nope.
See, now this is me just taking stabs in the dark because we have no idea what's. The tag titles are not anything, not officially.
They are on the line on this pay-per-view.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to throw in the towel at this point. And wait, hold on. Farouk and Ahmed Johnson. Come on, just tell me that they're having a match.
They do not have a match.
Well, they're probably saving that for Mania. Ahmed,
that doesn't happen at Mania either.
I know, you'd think that would be the natural progression of this program that they're building this close to Mania, right?
So, Adam, the dark match was the Godwins defeated the Headbangers. You would think the Headbangers should have picked up an easy win there, but nope.
Well, so it's probably not even on anything.
Mark Miro defeated Leif Cassidy.
Sure he did.
Nation of Domination, Crush, Farouk, and Savio defeated Bart Gunn, Flash Funk, and Goldust.
These are dark times. Go
on. Rocky was able to hold on to the championship. He faced off in a rematch against Hunter Helmsley.
Okay, all right.
Tag team championship was on the line. Doug Furnas and Phil LaFon defeated Owen and Bulldog, but that was by DQ, so they retained their titles. And then, as you mentioned, the elimination match for the WWF Championship. Bret Hart wins that one.
You don't have the order of eliminations on there, do you? I'm just curious.
Let's see here. The main event. I do not.
Oh, well, who cares? That doesn't sound like a pay-per-view that I would have been stoked to spend money on IRL, but
I think they were still less expensive back then. These were still the 2-hour pay-per-view. So it might have been $20. $20.
Sure. I paid 15 for that piece of shit Talking Shop-A-Mania too, so it's all good.
There you go. Well, Adam, that's our little bonus episode. Thursday, Raw Thursday. We saw Shawn Michaels cry. We saw him lose his smile. We saw him lose his WWF title.
And we saw The Rock gain his first title.
It's a momentous episode. It's just why we wanted to talk about it. Usually, like I said, skip these, but anyway. Well, we love to know what you guys have to think. And there's so many ways you could do that. You could tweet at us Monday Night Pod. You could Facebook at us Monday Night Pod. You could Instagram at us Monday Night Pod. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can leave a little comment below saying whatever you want. Like the video, share the video, subscribe. Wherever you're listening to this podcast, because we are both available on audio and visual mediums, make sure you're following or subscribes or whatever that button is. And if you're specifically listening on Apple Podcasts, leave a 5-star review. That is very important and very helpful. And if you're watching this and you're like, damn, Jeremy looks good this week, maybe I'll work hard next week too. I got the lights, I got the real camera. I like being fancy today.
I got a light up over here. It's just I don't balance it very well, and we'll see. We're a couple of months away, but I'll have a new setup for you, Jeremy. Don't you worry. You'll see.
We're building the official studio. Yes, Adam. As always, you get the last word. Anything else you want to say?
Oh God, like I said, please tell us if you want to hear us talk about regular. If you want to hear us talk about modern stuff, because my goodness, I could talk about Winter is Coming for so long. Oh my God, we're living the territories days now, people. This is not a drill.
Bye.
Who's gonna kick your ass? Generation